Hi, it's me again with Corel Roll Tips and Tricks, and somebody posted on Facebook they want to do a map of the Lake of the Ozarks. And I've got a couple of maps, so the person I'm doing it for, if you'll search under my videos just lakes or maps, it'll help you out in the future. But I'm going to show you how to do this map. I just went to Google and found the clearest one I could find. And as always, I'm going to set my nudge factor on 4 inches. I'm going to hit D, and this is really important when you're doing a map because you're going to destroy that one and you need to nudge this one back and forth. So now what we're going to do, we're going to resample it, but I made it so small that it's already 300 dots per inch. I'm going to trace it, outline, trace, clip art. And I'm going to look at it when it traces. It's pretty good. I'm going to go ahead and add some detail. And then I'm going to hit OK. I'm going to go to Object and Group and Ungroup. Now with my nudge factor still set, I'm going to take my Smart Fill tool and I'm using green and I'm going to go through the lake and highlight as much of the lake as I can get. I do not know anything about this lake. When I do a lake around my house, I kind of know what it looks like. So I'm trying to get most of the lake, and it wouldn't hurt to go ahead and take those words out, but we can work around it. So try to get everything that's blue, turn it to green, and always remember you're doing this for like a map or a chart of a lake, and nobody's going to use it for driving or boating. All you have to do is get relatively the shape of the item, the lake. Don't have to worry about it. And this is where if you knew the lake, it would help you on some of the later on in the islands. But like I said, I've got plenty of map lake. Like I don't know if that's part of the lake or that's a wetland. We go down here and try to get as much of the blue, turn it to green. Now, normally I would highlight or nudge as I'm going, but there's so many of them that I wouldn't be able to get them all back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use find and replace and show you how to get around this. So almost there. For the video, I'm going to call that good enough. Well, let's get this right up here. Maybe that little bitty arm. Maybe a little bit more down there. Let's zoom in here. Now this is good because there's a road, so it's going to stop. So you're going to know where your road goes. And you keep getting your Smart Fill tool back and forth. And almost done. If I was doing it for real, I'd really take my time, make sure I get everything. But as I said, I'm going to use step and repeat or find object, because that is going to save you a lot of time here in just a second. So we've got most of the lake. Let's go to edit, find and replace, edit query, go to uniform field, check that off, double check on that. I've already done the green, I did a test, but get your eyedropper tool and get that color green. Okay, find all. Now, Control G or group. And then you can nudge that out of the way. And voila, there's a good start on your lake right there. Now what I would do, I'd go ahead and do this. I'd go ahead and go to Object. Well, can't combine it yet. But you can see if we would have taken out those words, and this is really crucial if you knew the lake. So now what we're going to do, we're going to take, and we're going to left click, no fill. I'm going to right, you've got to have an item selected. Left click, right click on red, and I'm going to start joining some of these pieces where the words were. So we need to ungroup it. go to group, ungroup, get your shape tool, and you can start moving some of these parts, maybe even deleting nodes that you don't need. These two, this stuff's going to be cleaned up later, but then take your virtual segment delete key and delete that line between those two. Now, it's a little bit scary when you have those broken nodes, but we're going to find out how to cure that in just a second. So just take this and like there's a double line right there, so we're going to delete it. I'm going to take the virtual segment delete key and just delete that line. And then if we look with we got an awful lot of nodes in there, just delete them. Maybe delete that one. When you're doing so we got an extra line. And what I would do is just delete it. Extra lines right now aren't going to hurt us because we're going to smart fill it when we're through. Now that, remember, the road was right there, so that's fine. Take your virtual segment delete key and delete these intertwined lines. You have to grab the shape tool. And they'll probably, if I knew the lake, those pieces probably need to go together. And like I said, it doesn't have to be that accurate because nobody's going to drive from this, your map. We're just going to do a little bit more. Make sure you have the zoom tool when you want to zoom. And we got some double lines that we want to, I'm just going to take this outside one away, take this one away. And lines like this don't really kill you because we're going to use the Smart Fill tool, and anything that can get in there, we're going to take away that. And I'm going to work up on the letters, and this is where it would have helped if you would have maybe taken these letters out. But we're just going to take this, just go right through there and kind of build the lake back up, get rid of some of these double lines, like right there, right there, and right there, and right there. And if you go back and forth to the original map, you might be able to tell a little bit more. Let's go ahead and take away that line. We're looking pretty good, I think. Now we just need to join these two bodies of water back. And I'm going to take out that R. So the letters, if you can find a map that isn't, doesn't have so many letters in it, you'd be well off ahead of the game. But let's just do some freehand drawing back. And this is where you would want to nudge that other lake back in. And I'm kind of lost my train of thought. I'm going to go right there. I'm going to go right there. Join those two lines. And of course, you'd want to know. So let's just do that, and I'll just show you. Now remember, our original map is well over here. So we're going to take it, just nudge it twice over. And we can kind of look at it and what we've missed. And, we're pretty good up in here. It's going around those letters, but that might be part of the lake. We can delete this line and this line. And, okay, there's a good reason to have the map. And then just nudge the map out of the way, because we had this part right here that was really not even there. It was just going around that exclamation mark. Let's go ahead and break that. Just take all your loose lines out of the picture. And I'm almost through with this. I mean, it's going to take a lot of work. It is, the very first map I did, it took me 2 days to draw it. And I've used it for hundreds of maps of our local lake. So it's well worth the time. And, now, with the exception of this lake, I can do a lake in, we have the Highland Lakes around Central Texas are, there's a good website. It's governed by the LCRA, Lower Colorado River Authority, and they have some lake maps that are just the lake. So you don't have any wordage in there. and you can get a lot better done. So let's say we're done. I mean, we got a couple more words, right in there, but let's just say we're done, and let's take the Smart Fill tool again, and voila. So we're not completed here yet. We've got another line, so let's back up and just take that line away. Now we're going to take, and I would suggest doing this, take your rectangle tool and build a rectangle around it. In case your Smart Fill leaks, it won't leak through your, look, we got that whole body, and that's on one side of the road. So we've got that part and that part, and you're just going to have to bring that map back. See, that's why you want to use a rectangle, because we've evidently got a leak somewhere, and it's probably right there. So take your nodes and bring it up into there and try it again. Might not be it. Yeah, that's not it. But anyway, you get the idea. And then when you get all these parts, you've got broken parts that are, not connected, like right there. Well, that's the road. But you've got some other parts that aren't connected to the other parts, but they really are. Well, those, so far we don't have them done yet. So let's left click, right click in black this time. I know there's a road there. There's probably not a road there. Just take your shape tool and take some nodes and bring them down. Delete that node. And also when you're doing a lake, I've found it is a lot better to, okay, if you ever have anything like that happen, grab your shape tool and delete these nodes. And then I'm just going to cheat here a little bit and just join those two nodes right there. The lake shouldn't have so many right angles. There we go. So we've got those done. They look pretty good. And what I was saying about, some sharp points, like that probably doesn't happen in nature. So left click, let's grab it all. I'm sorry if I'm going fast. I'm trying not to do too much of this for him or them. Then if you have X7 or above, you can use your smoothing tool. And see, we got double lines, and that's a problem. So let's fix that. How do we fix double lines? Well, we use the Smart Fill tool, and we nudge it out of the way. The Smart Fill tool will only give us one line. So let's delete that line. And because I've nudged, I'm not hurting anything. I can always get it right back. So now let's get back to that. Well, like right there, actually take the shape tool and just maybe delete that node. And then take this node and just, wind it around a little bit. And you can always use the smoothing tool. I've got it way too big because I'm zoomed in, so 0.1. And just do like that. One, if you're going to cut this out, it'll save you a lot of wear and tear on your plywood to have rounded corners and not, like that would probably burn away. So grab your shape tool and just move that out of the way and maybe even delete that node. That looks pretty good. That looks pretty natural. But go back to your smoothing tool and just smooth that out a little bit. Just real fast. And I actually probably should make it smaller. You do not want that right there. That's like a node that's trying to turn around on itself. And I'll show you in just a second. See, so go like that and make it like that, and then take this one and make it like this. Now, if you will watch my other videos on making a lake map, it's really, once you've done this, so here's our original copy, and see I can nudge right back. So watch the other one on how to build. See, that looks pretty good. Build the roads, and you might be able to do the roads, for instance, in this one by filling them in. Anyway, I hope that helped them a little bit. Thank you for watching.